This lesson is called Stars and the Solar System. Our last lesson was movement and momentum. If you haven't got a good grasp of that, make sure you go back, watch it, and come back to this video. Okay, our solar system. What does the word solar mean? Basically, it's another word for sun. And if you think about the two words together, solar and system, it's a sun system, where the sun is the center and there are planets around it. Now, a good way to remember all the planets is using a mnemonic. The one I like to use is, "My very energetic mom just served us nachos." I'll say it again. My very energetic mom just served us nachos. If you go through what these planets are, we go from Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Earth. Those four are known as terrestrial planets. After Earth, we have an asteroid belt, which is made up of smaller rocks and suspended, which are not quite planet-sized but still quite big. Coming after those, we have four remaining planets, which are called the gas giants. The gas giants are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Pluto is not classified as a planet anymore because it's too small. Some of these planets have moons, which are smaller pieces of rock which orbit the planet. An orbit is to move around something in a circular kind of motion. So as planets orbit the sun, the moons will orbit the planet. Now the Earth has one moon called, well, the moon. But other planets which do have moons will not be as big as our one, and some will have multiple moons. If we look back in time to see how the universe was created, there are no factual explanations that clearly explain it. But one theory that scientists have come up with is the Big Bang. What it suggests is that in space there were lots of particles together. One day there were explosions, lots of dust, lots of energy, lots of other particles which then combined to create our universe. There are stars, there are planets, and our Earth. Some features of the Earth that make it a different planet from every other one is because we have an atmosphere, which allows us to breathe. So we have oxygen, which isn't found on any other planets. We also have water. These two combine to form the basis of life on Earth. The life of a star. The life of a star can be broken down into four distinct parts, starting from birth to death. As we said at the beginning of creation, when the universe started, there were a lot of particles spread around. Now gravity will start to pull these together until we have a small ball of dead particles causing the reaction. The second stage is where these reactions start to cool. At this point they provide a lot of heat and light. After a while, as the gas is used up, the star will start to expand into something called a red giant. Now, dependent on the size of the star itself, it will determine what it ends up being. If it's a large star, it will be called a supernova, which is a massive explosion, where all the particles are spread out completely and shrink back together quickly, forming a black hole. If it is a small star, it will cool down much more slowly, going on to form a white dwarf. This topic has been stars and the solar system. Make sure you go over it again before you move on to our next topic, which is waves and sound.